Practice STAAR questions for probability. I'm going to give you a few hints on each problem, but I am not going to give you the answers. Number 1, a student will spin 2 spinners in an experiment. The tree diagram shows all possible outcomes of the experiment. List the sample spaces. Well, this says that we're going to spin a spinner that has 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to spin a spinner that has R, T, Z. So I could get 1 and then R, 1 and T, or I could get 1 and Z. So I just need to make a list of all the possibilities. 1 and R, or 1 and T, 1 and Z, and so on. And do the same thing for 2. I could get 2 and then R, and then so on. List all the possibilities. Number 2, Sophia flipped 3 coins during a probability experiment. The outcome of the first 40 trials are shown in the table. Based on the information in the table, in how many of the next 120 trials will the outcome be exactly 2 of the coins showing heads? So this total is 40, and we want showing exactly 2 heads. That would be this one. And if you're making a prediction, you set up a proportion. And our new predicted total is 120. Now, if you know what you're going to do to 40 to get to 120, you could do that. If you're not sure what you need to multiply 40 times to get 120, then you can always cross multiply and then divide. Number 3. A study of a population of 1,200 frogs revealed that 12 out of every 180 frogs in the population have spots on their back. Based on the results of this study, how many frogs in the population do not have spots on their back? Well, since it says not, you're going to need to subtract first. So if 12 out of 180, if we subtract, we'll find 168 do not have spots. And then you're just making a prediction, and for a prediction, we set up a proportion. So 168 out of 180 do not have spots, and we're predicting for 1,200. If you know what you're going to do to 180 to get to 1,200, you could just multiply. You might think about maybe simplifying the fraction. If you simplify the fraction, you'll find that it will simplify to 14 over 15. And remember, you can always cross multiply and then divide to find your missing number. Number 4, Mrs. Lowry has a container of paper clips. She will randomly select one paper clip from the container. The container has 8 pink paper clips. The container has 14 purple paper clips. The container has 12 yellow paper clips. The container has 16 blue paper clips. What is the probability as a simplified fraction of selecting a purple paper clip? What is the probability as a simplified fraction of not selecting a purple paper clip? So there's 2 questions there. There's the purple. We need a total. So if I add all those up, it adds to 50 paper clips. So there's 14 out of 50 that are purple. And then you'll need to simplify that. If you want to find out how many are not, then you need to subtract. So 50 minus 14 . 36. So 36 out of 50, and then you'd need to simplify. Number 5, a survey of visitors at a national park was conducted to determine the preferred activity of each visitor to the park. Each visitor chose one activity. The survey results are shown in the table. Based on this information, which prediction about the preferred activity for the next 200 visitors to the park is the most reasonable? Since we're making a prediction, we want to set up proportions. So think of the chart as one giant proportion. We need a total, and the total was 80 visitors. And we want to predict for 200. If you want to figure out what we need to do to 80 to get to 200, you could divide 200 by 80. And you would find that we're multiplying by 2.5. So that's what I would need to do all the way up. So 28 times 2.5 . That one's 70. This one's 55, 35, and 40. Once you have your predictions, then you can read the answer choices to see which one matches. Number 6, the table shows the number of different types of pies sold at a bakery during one day. Based on the results in the table, which statement about the pies sold at the bakery during 1 week is not true? A says it is 2 times more likely for a chocolate pie to be sold as for a lemon pie to be sold. Chocolate was 8, and you need to look at lemon. 4 times 2, would that be 8? If it is, then that's not the answer we're looking for. B says it is equally likely for an apple or pecan, that would be 5 plus 3, to be sold for a chocolate pie to be sold. C says it is more likely for an apple or lemon, so that would be 5 plus 4, to be sold than for a pecan or chocolate. Is 5 plus 4 more than 3 plus 8? D, it is less likely for a pecan to be sold than for a lemon to be sold. Number 7, Emily has 50 pictures in an album. One of these pictures, 30, show her friends, 12 show her family, and 8 show only Emily. Emily is in half of the pictures that show her friends and half of the pictures that show her family. Based on this information, which statement is true? A says the probability of randomly selecting a picture that shows Emily with her friends is greater than the probability of randomly selecting a picture that shows Emily with her family. Well, how many did Emily have with her friends? She's in half of 30, that would be 15. And she's in half of the family, which is 12, so that would be 6. Is 15 greater than 6? B says the probability of randomly selecting a picture that shows Emily is 8%. 8% is not a very big number. Let's see, she's in 15, and then she's in 6, and then there's 8 of just her. So altogether, that would make about 29. She's in 29 of the 50 pictures. If that's 8%, then that's the answer. C says the probability of randomly selecting a picture that shows Emily with her family, which was 6, is 5 times the probability of randomly selecting a picture that shows only her friends. Well, her friends were in 15. So is 5 times 15, 6? If it is, then that's your answer. D, the probability of randomly selecting a picture that does not show Emily is 21%. Well, we already figured out that 29 of them show Emily. So 50 minus 29 if that's 21%, then that's your answer. Number 8, the 200 students in a school band will attend an awards dinner. A random survey of 25 of these students was conducted to determine how many of each meal should be prepared for the dinner. The results of the survey are shown. 12 students want a beef meal. 8 students want a chicken meal. 5 students want a pasta meal. Based on the survey results, which of these is the best prediction of the meal wanted by the 200 students? It's a prediction, so we're going to set up a proportion. And you just need to predict for each one of them. So there was 12 out of 25 for the first one. And if we're predicting for 200, well, kind of think of quarters. 25 times 4. So if I do that on top, that would be 48. So my prediction is 48 students will want beef. And you'll need to do that for the other 2 as well. And then read your answer choices and see which one works. Number 9. Jennifer has 2 number cubes. The faces of each number cube are numbered 1 to 6. Jennifer rolled the number cubes and recorded the number showing on the top face of each number cube. The results shown in the table. Based on these results, what is the probability that the next time the number cubes are rolled, they will land with a 2 showing up on the top face of one of the number cubes, and a 4 showing on the top face of the other number cubes? So first I'm going to go through and look for all the 4s and 2s. So she got 4 and 2 together 6 times. So that's 6 out of, and then you would need to simplify the fraction. Number 10, a bag contained flavored lollipops. a lollipop will be randomly selected from the bag. 17 lollipops are grape flavored, 8 lollipops are cherry flavored, 14 lollipops are watermelon flavored, 16 lollipops are strawberry flavored. What is the probability in decimal form that the selected lollipop will either be cherry flavored or watermelon flavored? So first we need a total. And if we add all those up, it comes to 55. And then we want to add cherry plus the watermelon. Make your fraction, and then change your fraction to a decimal. And in case you forgot how to do that, it's man horse. Put the man inside the house and divide.